Plaintiff Wendy Frederick is neighbors with the defendant. And despite the fact that she has a boyfriend, the defendant asked her if she wanted to be his sex buddy. Wendy's suing her former friend for lost wages, the cost of an operating system, and a pawn fee. Defendant Anthony Bardsley denies asking Wendy to be his sex buddy because he's been in a committed relationship for over a year. Anthony says Wendy is so vindictive that she even tried to break up him and his girlfriend, and he's countersuing for rent, a security deposit, and emotional distress.
Start with you.
Well, I'd like to start by saying just a fair warning to all the women out here. If this man approaches you for a friendship or to date you, do not do it. He's just looking for either a couch to sleep on or a place to plug in his video game systems. Tell the truth.
Okay, ladies, you hear it? As desirable as he may seem, you better watch it, as she says. Go ahead.
We have been friends for a couple, starting the beginning of this year. I've had a boyfriend the whole time. I'm sorry.
When did you all become friends?
Beginning of this year, February, January, somewhere like that.
Mm-hmm. You had a boyfriend. He snatched you away from the
No, he just asked me if I ever would need a sex buddy at all. And
what?
Oh, wow. If I ever need a sex buddy at all to give him a call. Yes.
To give him a call?
I have a boyfriend. No.
Your Honor, I've been in a relationship for over a year now.
All right.
I can't believe
That's
that.
False.
Go ahead.
Anyways, the reason I'm here today is because the defendant, I've done...
How'd you all meet?
We are neighbors. Our buildings are very close by. We all hang out kind of...
Your boyfriend live with you?
No.
Did he hang out with you and your boyfriend?
Yes. Our buildings are very close by, so we all kind of meet and...
Boyfriends.
Huh?
Her or 3 boyfriends.
You have 3 boyfriends?
At separate times, yes. Now I'm in a very committed relationship. But hey, at least I didn't go from one girlfriend to the other and they live right next door to each other. Anyways.
Did you?
No, I've been with the same girl for a year, Your Honor.
The same girls for a year?
The same girl, Your Honor. And
that's false.
The entire time that I've lived at that apartment complex,
Why are you
I've been in the same. Nervous.
All right. And let me hear from you on the background, and then I'll get the specifics on why she's suing you.
Yes, Your Honor. First, Your Honor, I'd just like to say there's 2 sides of Wendy. There's the happy-go-lucky side, which most people know, and she's overall she's a pretty good person. She's always been a good friend of mine. We hung out and stuff. Me and her went to BioLife together. We donate plasma. We usually use that money. We'll go to Applebee's and have some drinks and stuff while we're over there.
Hold on, man.
Yeah.
Y'all worse than...
It's a fun time.
Hold on. Y'all worse than the dope fiends in the projects I grew up with. That's what they used to do. Go to the Red Cross and donate to get dope. Now, they were dope fiends. So what's you all's excuse? Alcoholics?
Just friends, hanging out.
No, I'm saying, why do you go and sell your blood and then go to the bar?
Well, that's not all I ever use that money for. It was just, we did that once a week. And so I'm just kind of...
And that's about how often the dope fiends did it. Oh, y'all strung out. Go ahead. You all used to sell your blood and then go and drink alcohol. Now what?
We use the money, we'd hang out is what we would do. There's also a vindictive side of Wendy that when Wendy doesn't get her way, she'll pretty much go to whatever lengths she can to get her way. Such as... I found out that after all this stuff started, that Miss Frederick went over to my girlfriend's mother's house and told her mother that she wanted to hook my girlfriend up with a different guy so that way you could get rid of me.
That is false. That is false.
Plaintiff Wendy Frederick says she and the defendant are neighbors, and she claims the defendant asked her to be his sex buddy.
Tell me why you're suing him over this computer. What happened?
I had given him a cell phone in exchange for my computer. The laptop, the screen, when you bent it down, it would kind of change colors. So for who's going to fix that, and said also for all the things I have done for him, to look out for me, I'll put the new operating system on there, upgrade your Windows 7 system. So therefore he had agreed to fix my computer. He had originally took it apart and there was a wire in the computer is why the screen was...
What was he to fix?
He told me the part would be $15 to replace it. Don't worry, you gave me the phone, I'll pay for the part. Well, in the end, it's still not fixed. It's still taped together, because if it was fixed, there's no way when you move the screen, it would still be flashing. And the operating system was going to be upgraded on it. I do have Windows 7 on there.
He was going to do that as well?
Yes.
Sir?
Well, Your Honor, first of all, I did receive the computer from Miss Frederick. At that point in time, Wendy was a friend of mine and stuff, and I let her know, just take care of the parts and we'll call it good. And I told her that $75 would cover it. Now, after this point has gone by, 4 months has passed in between this time. And still, Wendy, she wasn't able to pay me. She was unemployed at the time.
When did you tell her you were finished?
On July 3rd, I called up. Every year, I take a trip up to Upper Michigan, and a bunch of us guys that grew up together, went to school together, get together. And I told her that I was heading up there and that I needed the computer to be paid for. Still, at this time, she wasn't working. She didn't have the money to take care of it. So I told her I will be pawning the laptop off. And that after that's pawned off, you usually have about a 30-day period.
What did she say when you told her that?
She asked me not to do it at first, but I told her, I'm like, I need this money to go up there. I told her, as soon as you have the money, you can have the pawn receipt from me, and you can get the laptop back.
And you pawned it that day?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Okay,
that same day after I contacted
So how many
Wendy,
hours? She got hours notice. Not only did she not get days. How much notice?
I'd say probably a few hours after I got off the phone.
You're
with her,
generous,
I
not
pawned
two,
it
a
off.
few.
I was going up to Michigan for the 4th of July.
You say ran out of blood money? All right, sir.
Your Honor, I also have a few texts. Right after that happened, the following day, the police department showed up at my place claiming that
To arrest you?
Miss Frederick made a case saying that I stole her laptop and told the police that I had stolen it.
After you pawned it?
After I pawned it. I do have in possession text messages between me and Wendy. The same day that this happened, she sent me a text message saying, I have $65. Can I have my computer back, please?
And your point is?
She owed me the $75 for it.
No, but
why would
pawning. Let's talk about pawning. Do you think what you did was legal?
Yes, sir, I do.
She approved it?
No, she didn't approve it,
What made
sir.
you think it was legal?
Because at that point in time, it...
There you go.
Well, no, it's just funny because at that point in time, it wasn't her property anymore.
Oh, how did it convert over to you?
Miss Frederick abandoned her property
When?
when she refused to pay for it.
And if it was already yours, why did you call it July 3rd? It
Because-
was already yours.
I wanted to give her a common courtesy. She was a friend of mine, and I did want her to get
But
it.
it was yours.
Well,
It was no longer her property. You should have given her the common courtesy before you claimed it yours. When was that? 2 weeks earlier? Middle of June? You just, I think this is mine. I think this is mine. Been a week. Nah. This is mine. So you have to give a person notice.
Your Honor.
And it has to have been a significant time when you all failed to communicate before you could consider it abandonment.
yes, sir.
You gave her a 3-hour notice. Most courts would require a notice within a reasonable amount of time. What is the wages? What is that about?
Because everywhere I went to apply for a job, they'd always give me a business card or everything. I'll say, apply online, apply online, apply online. My resume's online, apply online.
You don't know if you'd have gotten them anyway. You can't say, I'm suing them for the lost wages I would have gotten. You don't know if anybody's going to hire you or not.
Plaintiff Wendy Frederick says she and the defendant are neighbors, and she claims the defendant asked her to be his sex buddy.
Your counterclaim, rent, security deposit, and emotional distress is for what?
After this started, I had one of my neighbors came in and told me that there was a tow truck outside about to tow my car. After that happened, 2 days later, or actually I think it was about a day later, we received a 3-day eviction notice, which I have with me.
What does she have to do with it? She's the landlord? You're in cahoots with the landlord?
No,
No,
but,
I'm not. And I do have a letter from her also.
But
What did she do?
She's good friends with the landlord, and
That's what I'm saying.
I know
You're in cahoots. That's your thing. It's because she's a good friend with the landlord. She got you kicked out.
Yes, that's what I was talking about with her being manipulative and vindictive.
Do you have evidence that she got you kicked out because of
I
that?
do not have evidence. I know she
hold
did.
on, ma'am. Did the landlord give you an explanation as to why you're being kicked out?
The landlord said that there's people that don't like me in the apartment complex. As far as I know,
People don't
everybody
like
at
you?
No, I have no problems
They
with
don't?
anybody. No, sir.
No, they really don't. You said no. That means they really.
I have no problems with anybody in that
Why
apartment
did I
complex
tell you
except
that?
for Wendy. I was kicked off of the property actually, and she spoke to my roommate Cindy.
What is it you want to show me?
I do
ma'am?
have actual letters stating why he was kicked out of there from the landlord herself.
Why did they say they kicked
It's
him out?
saying because he wasn't a tenant there. There's been complaints, it says. There was a dog living there. Had nothing to do
So
with
you
me.
violated the terms of your lease. He didn't mention her at all, sir. You're a piece of work. All right, sir, I'm going to dismiss your claim. And ma'am, I can't grant you lost wages because you speculate that if you had the computer he was to repair, you could have gotten one of the many jobs you would have applied for. I am going to grant you, ma'am, the operating system and the pawn fee. And that would be $332 is your judgment. Have a good day.
Thank you, Your Honor. I did everything I could. I've spent hundreds of dollars trying to be nice to you, and this is what I get in the end for friendship. You're not a real friend. Your girlfriend's going to see you're not a real boyfriend to her.
You're a very good actor.
Yes. Yeah, that's why I live in Wisconsin, not California, not Hollywood.